All right, so boom. You already know what time it is. Types of incels explained. Let's see what the other versions of incels are. Let's lock in, chat. Let's get it.
Across this term, incel. This term meaning involuntary celibate. It's been used by
So can you be an incel on purpose if it's involuntary? Interesting. Wow, I don't know how to respond to what you just said. So I will call you an incel because having sex is the only unit of value I understand. Okay.
ratchet women and soy boys is an insult towards anybody who criticizes women. However, incel is actually somebody who just fails to attract somebody of the opposite gender. But what if I told you that all incels are not the same? For example, we have the gym cell. A gym cell is an incel who goes to the gym thinking that putting on a bunch of muscle will improve his chance with women. And sometimes this does actually work because
Gym cell is actually crazy, right? I didn't know that would be a thing, but it does make sense. You said incels are dope. That pose was sick.
going to
Incel
the
was
gym will fix
beta male.
insecurity issues and improve your mood, making it easier to approach women. However, this
Well, I would think that would make sense though. If you go to the gym, correct? If you go to the gym, it should boost your confidence, right? It should boost your confidence. So you should feel more comfortable approaching the opposite gender. But I guess like a gym cell is like a maxed out gym rat, and that's their only personality trait. So Tate
isn't
is
always
beta.
the
It can boost your
case.
ego.
Gym cells often think that just because they get a bunch of muscle, women just will throw themselves at them, but not every
that
woman
makes sense.
enjoys big, bulky muscles. In fact, a lot of muscular guys report that they actually get more compliments from men than they do women. I believe that if you're going to the gym for the sole reason to attract women, I think you're going for the wrong reasons. But to summarize things up, gym cells are just incels that thought that going to the gym and getting muscles would get them to attract women, but it didn't. I do also want to note that gym cells are actually pretty rare. Like, you have to have really bad genetics in order to be a gym cell. I know this might contradict what I said earlier, but a lot of people do actually just look better with muscle on them. Like, even the
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I feel like gym cell would be extreme, right? Like that would be extreme, right? Like that would be the extreme side of that. I don't think anybody who just goes to the gym would immediately become a gym
this
cell.
Asian guy looked a lot better with muscle on him and a new haircut. This guy who pops in my head whenever I think about
Nah, twin hairline. Whoa.
gym cells actually doesn't even look that bad. They edited his forehead to look a lot bigger than it actually is,
Oh, that's
which they made him
okay.
literally look like Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising. And a lot of
Yo,
people
they did
confuse
him
gym
they did
cells
him
with
dirty,
a
bro.
misogynistic man that just happens to go to the gym. There is a difference between a gym cell who's going to the gym to be more attractive but fails to do so, and the TikTok gym cell aesthetic. Did you know that also some people blame their incelhood on their race? For example, we have this guy, 19 male, right cell, no cell, lip cell, asked a girl for her number last week.
Rice cell, no cell, lip cell. Incel selfies. Bro, Reddit is crazy. What the fuck? Asked a girl for her number last week on campus. She called security on me and I was interrogated by them for 4 hours. What?
On campus, she called security on me and I was interrogated by them for 4 hours.
He do got them nostrils
Guys,
on
can
him,
we be
though.
honest? Is it over for him? I believe this categorization comes up because some people just have a preference when it comes to the race that they want to date, and this could cause insecurities about how somebody feels about their own race. We also have black
the
cells,
fuck?
white cells, bean cells, curry cells. Guys, I don't make this stuff
Are these are real things? France cell, Hoppa cell, Italian cell, Slav cell, bro. And I think from now on, we're really going to have to start like deep diving into the internet and like exploring some of this shit live on stream because this shit is actually kind of insane, right? Like I've heard of incel and femcel. Those two I've heard of. I didn't know they had this many versions of it. Like this shit is crazy, dude.
This is actually on the official Incel wiki. I'd also like to note that it's usually the curry cells and the rice cells, or the Indians and the East Asians, that mostly fall into the Incel hood. My evidence for this is that on the Incel wiki, both of these terminologies have extensive writing about them, but all the others don't, except for the France cell. And I'd like to believe that this is an indication that there's a lot of conversation going around curry cells and rice cells, but none of the other type of racial cells. Now, I have a question for you, the viewer. Has your brain been fried from all the bullshittery we've talked about yet? No? Good, because we still have more terminology to go over. In the incel community, there's also a debate between true cells and fake cells. True cells are incels that genuinely believe that they will never ever be able to win the affection of a woman. These are people that no matter how hard they try, no matter how hard they
A true cell. How can you identify if what cell you on? Though I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. But thinking that you'll never get the affection of a woman, can you imagine having that thought about yourself? Can you imagine having that thought about yourself? Holy shit.
work, no matter how much they groom themselves or work out or anything, they will never be able to gain a woman. And then on the other side of the coin, there's the fake cells. There's actually two types of fake cells. One type of fake cell is where they've had a romantic relationship in the past, but not currently. This also includes if a fake cell has had somebody interested in them in the past that they just didn't reciprocate. The other kind of fake cell is somebody that is actually decently attractive, and if they tried, they could actually get a woman. If they groom themselves properly, if they get a nice haircut, if they actually took care of themselves, if they actually went outside and socialized,
I only know
people,
about blood cells.
they would probably have a significant other pretty quickly. However, they don't do this in order to claim incelhood.
The darker side of the incel world, uncovering incels part 2. Sure, there's documentaries on this shit, dude. Holy shit. I'm a
So they
forehead
can
cell.
feel a part of a special group. For some reason, incelhood has become somewhat desirable. I'm not sure if it's because people want to feel special in their group, or if it's just that they want to be in their own self-pity. However, I do know that there's nothing more stressful for a true cell than battling fake cell allegations. If they go into your past and see that you've even held hands with a girl one time, you've lost your true cell status. If you've held conversation with a woman outside of a professional setting for more than 30 seconds, you've lost your true cell status. However, the biggest fake cells of them all has gotta be the fem cells. Fem cells are pretty controversial in the incel community.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fair. I would think it would be hard to be a fem cell because if you're a woman, like, most dudes will probably still talk to you. Like, let's just be real. Most dudes will still talk to you. If we're just gonna be honest about it, like most dudes will still talk to them. Like, come on. I don't know why they're acting like they wouldn't, but they would. Like,
wondering if they can actually be incels or not. This is mainly because of their biological roles in the world. The question that's mainly raised is, can women be incels, or are they just picky about who their partner is? I've made an entire video with the question asked if femcells even exist, where I talk about how femcells are just picky women, and there's always gonna be that one guy that's always down. Femcells in my comment section then clap back saying that then incels are also fake cells because they can always get an illegal sex worker, or they can just grape somebody. And I feel like that argument
because you can just buy a prostitute or do what? What? I'm a shab cell? Nah, that's crazy. That's funny though.
Actually doesn't work in their favor, because that just goes to show the struggle between a true incel and a femcel, where an incel needs to perform illegal activities, sometimes violent, in order to get rid of his celibacy, where a femcel just has to answer that one guy in her DMs. And there is that one chance that whoever left that comment is just rage baiting. If that's the case, then I'm just rage baiting you by pretending to take your rage bait serious. And then there's the incels that blame their physical features for why they're an incel.
The difference between Chad and non-Chad incel is literally just a few millimeters of bones. Okay, if you got a chin like this, right? Like, I'm gonna be fair. If you got a chin like this, just grow out your beard, brother. Grow out your beard, and your chin will be your beard, because that is crazy.
Like this guy, for example. He calls himself a nose cell and a lip cell. Wait, didn't we already talk about this guy before? Man, it is so over for this guy. I'm sorry, man. In all honesty, he doesn't even have that bad of lips. Like, some girls actually like bigger lips, but that nose, bro, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, twin. Yeah, he's cooked. He's cooked. But if he makes enough money, he can get a nose job, and then he wouldn't be cooked anymore. So, I mean, clearly he's in college right now because it said 19. So this is probably going to have like an impact on him, but Twin is low-key cooked. I ain't gonna lie.
No fixing that. And according to the Incel Wiki, which I didn't know existed until making this video, there's a lot of traits that can consider you an incel. We have an acne cell, bald cell, chin cell, cute cell, dick cell, eye cell, fat cell, frame cell, hair cell, height cell, nose cell, remove cell, thin
the fuck?
cell, ugly cell, wrist cell, and ear cell. I found out that the ramus is a bone, a part of the jaw. I don't know why they just don't call them jaw cells, but I guess you have a ramus cell. I just want to say in no way am I supporting this type of mentality. I do believe that, yeah, if you're like an quote-unquote acne cell, you might have harder time attracting women or whatever. But an ear cell, like, I just feel like at that point you're just being nitpicky about yourself. Like, bro, I promise you your small wrists are not the reason why you can't pick up women. Like, at what point are we just like finding any excuse possible to just sit in our own self-pity? I also found out that there's diseases and mental disabilities that can make you a cell. Like, they have the like Down cell on here. There's Down syndrome incels now. Autiscel is somebody whose inceldom is partially derived from their Asperger's syndrome or other disorders. At least half, if not all, the writers of Wiki Incel are afflicted with autism or an autism-adjacent disorder. It's kind of a weird flex, but okay.
That's hilarious, dude.
Oh, and then also they had to add combined with high IQ and high rationality. Actually, in order to understand the Incel Wiki, you actually have to have a high IQ. And then in the miscellaneous part of the well-known Incel categories, we have a bunch of mumbo-jumbo, like Cyber Cell, Escort Cell, Incompetent Cell, Location Cell, Countryside Cell, Denial Cell. We have a Sister Cell.
Is a term used referring to incels who have sisters. Like, everything is a cell, chat. Everything's a cell.
An incel that has a sister. Who cares? Voice cell. I've actually heard of that. Voice cell is somebody who just has an unattractive voice.
Ladies! Oh, you're from around these parts, eh? Yeah, I'm from Saskatchewan.
A standard cell where their standards are too high, causing
Like,
them to be alone. So basically every fem cell. A mare cell, which is apparently somebody who's in a sexless marriage, so despite them even being married, they're still an incel. That sounds miserable. But yeah, that's all the incels that I feel like explaining. If you want to go check the incel wiki for yourself to see if you might be some kind.
Dude, they have weeb cell, stoic cell, nympho cell. Bro, what?
Kind of incel, then feel free. But in all honesty, my brain is starting to feel fried, so this is where I'm going to end today's video.
Not gonna lie. W video, actually. That was a good video, chat. That was actually, like, entertaining. But you guys, if you see this on YouTube, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us what cell you classify as, or if you even understood anything the dude was talking about in that video. Because, yeah, kind of fried.